my channel is Terry Young Outdoors. My channel is about backpacking and hiking, gear reviews, trip reviews, trail reviews, things like that. And you like the content of this video, give it a like, a thumbs up, make a comment. I just want to be able to help people that are getting into backpacking and hiking to make informative decisions on gear and things like that. So one of the things that beginning backpackers and hikers ask me is, what should I wear on my feet when I'm on trail? And that's a pretty broad subject. A lot of it depends on where you're going, what the terrain is like, if you're going to encounter a lot of rocks, how long your trip is. I brought a couple of types of shoes that I have personally that I have worn. I brought a couple out here to show you and just kind of explain when you would want to wear that specific shoe. I'll start out with this one, and everybody probably knows what this is. The heel's coming off of mine, the sole's coming off. But this is a Choco. Not really a hiking shoe, but if you're just doing some waterfall trails, short trails, you're not going any more than a couple of miles, and you're going to encounter a whole lot of water, then you might consider a Choco or something like a Choco. I'm not sponsored by Choco, but this is the type of shoe that you might consider wearing. You don't get a whole lot of upper support as far as rocks and things like that. Sticks sticking you in the foot, so I wouldn't advise these for long trails. But this would be something you could consider wearing, like I said, waterfall hikes, when it's really, really hot out. But I wouldn't suggest doing a long trail in these. They just don't really give you enough support. It is a pretty rugged bottom. Got pretty good traction, but you don't get any support on top. So if you go off trail, you could get a stick you in the foot or something. So, or you can still kick a rock or something in these. Your toes are not really protected. So good shoes, but I would say short trails, waterfalls. If you're going to encounter a lot of water, a lot of creek crossings, stuff like that, that was when I suggested like a Choco. Okay, let me go to this one. This is an Alico. This is more of a mountaineering boot. This shoe, or this boot, it's full leather. This particular one was made in Italy, so this is a really nice mountaineering boot. But I definitely wouldn't suggest long hikes in this. Your feet will just get really tired. It does offer a whole lot of support. I mean, you've got tons of support up top. It's leather. You're not going to have anything sticking you in the foot while you're walking. It's got a Vibram sole on the bottom. Really good boot, but I just wouldn't suggest it for long. I have hiked with people, or backpacked with people that wear these on long trails, and they get a blister or their feet just get tired, because these things probably weigh 2.5 pounds each. So this mountaineering boot has its purpose, but I would say probably just short little hikes up in the rocks, things like that. This particular one's waterproof. That's another thing. Let me get into that real quick. They pretty much all your backpacking hiking shoe has a waterproof version, and everybody says, "Well, don't I want waterproof? Because my feet won't get wet." Well, in theory, they won't, but they will. When you step into a creek and that water goes into your shoe or into your boot, I don't care if they're waterproof or not. If you got water in there, it's going to stay in there. And I always say, if water can't get in, water can't get out. So waterproof, for me, I would rather just walk through the water and let your shoes dry out on their own. So waterproof's not for me, but you may think otherwise. So like I said, these are my opinions. Everybody doesn't agree with them, and that's fine. But waterproof shoes, I've never had any well, I mean, I've never had any waterproof trail runners. I've had waterproof boots before, but yeah, I don't backpack in waterproof shoes. So mountaineering boot, practical if you're in the rocks, doing little short day hikes, whatever. but for long distance backpacking, nah, I wouldn't suggest them. Okay, my next one is, it is a boot also. It's a Keen. This is a Tarji, I think is the name of this model. This is a really good boot. It really is. It has what they call Keen Dry, which is Keen's waterproofing. And this is a little different. This is more of a hiking boot, where that was a mountaineering boot. This is more of a hiking boot. It has a little more flexibility to it. It's not as stiff. You do have ankle protection up here. It does have a pretty aggressive sole, so you don't have to, like I said, worry about sticks sticking in your foot while you're if you have to go off trail or whatever. But the Keen makes really good boots. I would say if you're not going to do long trails, and you could conceivably do long trails in these, but for me, I've just went away from stuff like this because I started wearing trail runners. And that's what I would suggest for most people if you're going to do anything over 8 or 10 miles is trail runners. And I will get to those next. But the Keen Tarji, good boot, but just not for me as far as long distance backpacking goes. So let's get to the trail runner. The trail runner is, and this one is made by Altra, a company called Altra. They make great trail shoes, really great trail shoes. They make pretty good road running shoes also. But basically, a trail runner it's a running shoe. It's just a running shoe. It's really light. This one has dry dirt in it. This is the Ultra Olympus model. Olympus 4 maybe? Yeah, this is the Olympus 4. I do love these because they offer a little higher stack here. These are neutral drop, or zero drop, which means they're flat all the way across. You don't have that drop from the heel down to the toe box. But there's, I really do like doing long distance backpacking and trail runners. I mean, they're just a mesh top. It's, I mean, it's really, it offers some protection, but not a ton on the top. And the reason that is if you cross a creek and your feet get soaking wet, these are going to dry out pretty quick. If you got on boots, they're going to take forever to dry out. But trail runners, yeah, they'll drain and they'll dry pretty fast. What else about these? They offer a pretty fair amount of toe support at the toe cap here, in case you're kicking rocks and things. Like I said, aggressive tread, Vibram sole. The Ultras have what's called a gator trap. It's a Velcro flap here. If you wear gaiters on your shoes, which I do suggest. I don't have a gaiter with me, but you've probably seen them. It hooks on the little hook here on the front, and it just covers up your kind of covers up your foot. It comes up just about your sock level, about crew level, but it just keeps debris from getting down in your shoe. Just kind of goes over the outside of your shoe. So I would suggest getting some gaiters to go on, and the Ultra's really good. They got the system on there to hook up to. So yeah, this is, and I would also say consider getting some custom insoles, like the Superfeet insoles, because that goes a long way to help you with your arch support, so your feet don't get as tired. I got the Superfeet green, and I really like the Superfeet green insoles. But yeah, I do love the trail runners. This is what I suggest to people all the time. If you're not going to be doing a ton of really rough stuff, a lot of tough rocks and things like that, I would suggest trail runners for backpacking. They just work for me. They may not work for you. Like I said, this is all my opinion. I've worn all these. I'm like Forrest Gump. I've worn a lot of shoes. But the trail runners are the way to go for me. If you wear them on trail, you just won't be, your feet won't be as tired. Because it's just like wearing a running shoe on the trail. And they're tough enough to go along. I think I've got probably about 300 miles on this shoe here. So it's still pretty good to go. Oh, and I just got some new ones yesterday. And this is the Ultra Lone Peak 6, which I'm really excited about getting these on trail and trying them out. I do have the Super Feet insole in there, the green insole, but the Lone Peak 6, they made some improvements to it. Bigger loop hole for protecting your shoe or putting your shoe on. Just a few. This is actually the first Lone Peak model that I bought, but it's not as cushiony as the Olympus model that I was just showing you. This one is a little more minimalistic, has a little less cushion. Seems like it may drain a little bit better. They cut big drain holes in the front so that water will drain out. But I think I'm gonna like them. I'll know as soon as I put a couple of 100 miles on them, and I'll come back and give you a full review. But yeah, this is the Ultra Lone Peak. I just like this color also. There's a new white color that I would have those filthy in one hike. So yeah, I got the black with the burgundy trim on it. So I'm excited about these. But yeah, like I said, I would suggest trail runners. You have to take care of your feet. Your feet, when you're backpacking and hiking, your feet are the only thing making contact to the ground. So you have to take care of your feet. If you don't, you're not going to go very far before you start getting blisters and things like that. I like to say you take care of your feet and they'll take care of you. So try the different models of hiking and backpacking shoes. See what you like. If there's something else that you might like that I didn't mention, then comment below. I'll always respond to my comments. So again, the name of my channel is Terry Young Outdoors. If you're not a subscriber, consider being a subscriber. And if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. And I will see you on the next video.